Deathmetal
Every time they start the video, it's like a scene from Lethal Weapon. Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or is it 1, 2, 3?
Did you watch the last episode? That's what we did. We've done this.
That was the Wayne's World thing. Where it was like, 5.
God damn, we're gonna do it again. Oh no, we've done this the last 2 episodes. We've mentioned this fucking shit.
Is it 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, 3, jump?
I mean,
Dave, if you were trapped in a toilet, I would help you.
I was trapped in a toilet.
Yeah, lethal weapon.
Oh, well, yeah.
You brought it up. Riggs.
Yeah, he was trapped on that toilet with bombs strapped to him.
All right.
He was going to retire.
What a great movie.
He was our age when he was too old for that shit.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Now we're ready to go. All right.
He fought the Predator not long after that.
He did. He was badass. People wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I didn't care. I was at that perfect age. I was like, I don't care. It's a Predator movie. And they had the best weapons in that one.
Yeah.
Upgraded.
I slept on that movie for a long time because I was like, man, Arnie's not in it. I'm not watching it. But watched it like years later and was like, damn, this is just as good as the original.
We talked about that the other day when we were watching Darkman.
Yeah.
We were watching Darkman and we got on Predator and I was like, yeah, I used to have this fucking fold out poster. I don't remember what magazine I got it from, but it looked like a Playboy poster, you know?
Like, it's Fangoria.
Yeah, and it had the Predator, and he wasn't like, you know, tastefully nude or anything, but he's standing there and he had all his weapons and it had like, things pointing to what weapon was what, you know, his shoulder cannon and his discus.
Oh, the discus, yeah, he's an
Olympian.
That movie rules, and Gary Busey is just perfect in the movie. You forget like he can actually act.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love that movie.
I think he forgets he can actually act too.
Well, I'm so used to like, you know, I was introduced to him by like, what was it, Silver Bullet, and that's Gary Busey. The DC Cab came out, I was like, oh, it's Gary Busey. And then in that movie, he's like a good villain, like, oh, hey, I'm Gary Busey. Like, instead of like, hey!
Yeah.
By the way, this is the Gore Club Podcast. I'm Steve Vessell.
Deathmetaldave.
I'm Ace.
Oh, and tonight we're going to talk about the Mahoning Drive-In, and Ace went back to VHS Fest.
Part 8.
Oh, yeah, VHS Fest Part 8.
8.
Yeah.
Shouldn't this one be in New York?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to go to another city by the time you get to Part 8?
Yeah, it's VHS Fest 8. Ace takes Lehighton, Pennsylvania.
I was going to say, yeah. Shit, man. 635 Seneca Road, Lehighton, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. Nestled in the majestic Pocono Mountains. Go ahead.
Yeah, so
did you have a good travel?
It was a good time. We actually left a day early this year, so we didn't have to do the drive all day, get there, go directly to the drive-in, park, get out, and then start trying to have fun after being on the road forever.
That's called getting older.
Yeah.
You beat me to it. Like, that's what adults will do.
Yeah. So we got up there on Thursday this year and had a whole extra day to sleep, and which was the best because we got there on Friday and we're not like dead tired, and got there like right as the gates opened, went in.
Were you like first?
Yeah, we were like the 4th people in line.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah. We did, on the way up there, we did joke about stopping at the Goth Taco Bell from last year. And by pure chance, we stopped and we got off at an exit. And I was like, I think this is the same exit from last year. And we did. We went to that same Taco Bell from last year. And we went in and they were playing New Order True Faith on the speakers.
Like, we're laughing, but that'd be the best.
And I was like, dude, they're still playing that goth channel in here. And I was like, I don't mean Taco Bell is you're like listening to a song about them doing heroin or something.
Oh, no.
You're ordering a chalupa.
Usually that's reserved for Burger King.
If it was Dave's restaurant, it'd be like listening to Cannibal Corpse, be like,
yeah,
just Butchered at Birth on repeat.
Yeah.
Or what's your favorite? Is it Too Many Mutilated?
Butchered at Birth.
Oh, okay. I see. I was close. Oh, wait, I was right. Fuck me. Yeah.
You were right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Goth Taco Bell.
As we just blew up the microphones. Yeah.
well, the entire way up there, we were joking because the weekend before we left was, if you don't keep up with the news, was they had just banned Pornhub in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So,
Trust
which
me, I
has
know.
also happened in Texas and like other backwards places too. But
they're making it to where you have to put, I think had to put like your state ID in
you
or
have to
something.
give them your ID, but I think that probably like people are like, I don't want to give my ID to some porn website. What are they going to do with it?
Yeah. So
Like,
Pornhub put their foot down or put their dick down or whatever.
But so
There you go.
that weekend that happened the whole way. We're just like, whenever we get there, just tell everybody we just came to Pennsylvania to look at porn. I was like, it's like, no, the only reason we came here is to look at Pornhub legally on our phones.
Goth Taco Bell and Pornhub.
Yeah.
This is a good story. Ace. I'm going to insert all kinds of crazy shit on this fucking episode.
But yeah, so also, you know, some other, like, you know, inside jokes that I'm sure everybody cares to hear. But the whole group of people I hang out with there is all people who either did a podcast, work for a website, do some kind of content that they do.
Yeah, content creators is what we call ourselves.
Everybody's just hanging out. And like I just kept asking everybody, I was like, you getting any good content this weekend? They were like, no, man, I'm not. And I was like, yeah, me neither. I was like, I was just like, yeah, I mean, you get that content?
Nope.
Like, nope.
Nerds.
I gave you flyers. That was our big thing. I was like, here's some shitty fucking like QR code flyers to pass out. And he came back with almost all of them.
I gave one away.
Working it, baby. That's what you were doing.
I gave one, and they wrote down they wrote down playing at the tapes on the back of it. So I
cool.
Remember. Yeah. But we actually got a giant farmhouse that I found on Airbnb, which was 1 mile from the Mahoning, same road and everything. So super easy. Like we just, you know,
could
make a
stumble
right
home.
turn, and
Yeah,
it was great. The only thing about the farmhouse, like the people that we got it from were really nice.
This is like X.
But yeah, it was really old.
I see a connection to our last episode.
There's like 6 of us, and like whenever I sent the picture, everybody was like, "Well, here's where we're staying at," and they were like, "Man, this is kind of weird. It's like it's gonna be some kind of like Evil Dead situation." Like they're like, just don't. If you find any artifacts in the basement, like don't read them.
Does anybody here speak Latin?
I dare you to go upstairs.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, and I messaged him back in our group chat, and I was like, I'm going to be reading so many ancient texts this weekend. It's like, if I find an ancient text, I'm reading it.
So it's Evil Dead, or like you said, it could be X because they were just talking about going to look at porn and.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
So you got a farmhouse and you're looking at porn. Go ahead and tell me about your life.
Ace and the Beast. That's the name is porn.
As soon as we get there, the house is full of like a lot of like Christian stuff, but the weirdest thing was they had like
statue of the devil.
Yeah, a little Baphomet.
Yeah, there was one of those the people that do the ark. Like in Kentucky, where it's
like Noah?
The Answers in Genesis people.
Oh, no.
Who say like the Earth's 4,000 years old and dinosaurs and people live together.
Yeah,
and
they had proof,
like,
dude.
And they had like one of those books sitting like on the table directly next to the couch where the TV is. And I was like, oh man, you all specifically put this here so that we would see it and read it.
It's weird, man. This one is in Latin.
Yeah.
I guess
Oh, no. Yeah.
you just read it out loud.
Yeah.
What's all this?
This is just like a horror film.
Yeah.
Great.
And I was like, oh man, I was like, do you know what this is? This is like crazy stuff, like not just like regular Bible crazy stuff, to like, you know, this guy like a dinosaur and people live together, like
dinosaurs with saddles.
Now, were there carpets or was there a rug? And this is an important question.
oh, no rug in there. Maybe there was a rug.
If there's carpet.
Yeah, if it's carpet, they just they drew the pentagrams under the carpet. That's where they are.
Yeah,
You have to peel it back into like the third act of the movie and be like, that's why.
it's gonna be like Satan is good, Satan is repel.
Ace wants to kill everyone. Oh, fuck.
She obviously made it back, so that didn't happen.
Yeah, but we got 6 of us in the house. It was me, my buddy Travis, who I know from Lexington, and Justin K, Jake, and Tom, who I know all through the Sale of Satan podcast. We all kind of met during COVID in the doing like streams and being on Discord and stuff and talking, and then finally we all just like met up at VHS Fest 4 years ago or whatever, and we've all just kept in touch and been friends ever since. It's been pretty cool.
It's like your Golden Girls.
I know it is. Yeah, it's literally like we all get together once a year and just hang out and like watch horror movies. And but I knew Travis from Lexington. He lives down there. I've known him for a little while, going to shows and stuff. But yeah. But once we got there Friday.
Friday. What were the movies they showed on Friday?
Oh, Friday was Nightmare Sisters, Terrorvision, and Robot Ninja.
Those all sound like. I mean, I've seen 2 of them. I haven't seen Robot Ninja.
Oh, you should.
Oh, Robot Ninja rules.
Yeah. That's a Bookwalter movie, right?
J.R. Bookwalter, who was there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It was usually the same crew of people that were there this year as last year. There was Yasmina, who works for Rue Morgue and was on the Witchfinger podcast. Benny from Sale of Satan. The movie dumpster guys, John from Sale of Satan, who I'd never met before until that weekend. Him and his wife Victoria were there. Jesse and Steph from Sale of Satan. Talked to the found footage dudes again.
They were here recently.
Yeah, and they were just here. I finally got to talk to him about I talked to him about Mr. Nasty last year, and they were like how it was surreal to even be like sitting there while he's doing this prayer and like it's just like
that's one of the best parts of that freaking episode is like I was like, so is this still part of the
but he's going on. He's like, they don't even make Hershey's chocolate in Pennsylvania anymore, and he's like, is this still part of the prayer? Like going on a big rant. But
do they always host VHS Fest?
Every year I've been there. The
found footage guys.
They host and do like little stuff in between movies.
That is so fucking awesome.
And play and they play little stuff from their tour, like from the movies and stuff. Some of the stuff was some of the clips I saw here before that, but all their stuff's really crazy, and it's like, what do they call it, found footage, but like if you ever watch any of their stuff on YouTube, they have like a room that's just like 10,000 tapes that people have sent them in the mail, or they've bought or found at random places, and a lot of them are like just any of those tapes you'd buy like in the 80s or 90s where it was like fly fishing or something, and like just where anybody would try to make a tape and then try to make money off of it out of some weird niche thing. Like they have all those, and it's like.
But my favorite is when you think you have that and you put it in one day and it's like, whoa, this is a homemade tape. I mean, like homemade.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they have so many of those.
Yeah.
They're just like DNA experiments under like blacklight. You're like, oh, we're not playing this, dude. Yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are.
You can't put moldy tapes in your VCR.
They actually, they had somebody there this year that had made a mold cleaner that you could bring your moldy tape into, and they would clean the tape off for you in this little machine that they had made.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that is
a
lot of dedication there, and like to put something like that together. Like I
know this sounds crazy, and it may be because most of these came from either my dad's store or I've just found myself, but I've never experienced tape mold ever. Isn't that weird?
I have a few that I've bought and then I was very unprofessional of me as a tape collector that I didn't look at the tape before I bought it. But there's a few that I bought and pulled out when I got home, and I was like, there's mold on this crap.
Well, I mean, I have friends. I mean, we all have friends that collect, and then I've seen some that just compacted. You can't even like turn the reels. I'm like, what the hell is that? Because I have pretty much I've watched everything that's on these walls. Even the new ones. I mean, actually, I just got this brand new Betamax because I don't really buy online, and that's when you start seeing that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a Betamax, My Bloody Valentine, and it's in perfect fucking condition.
Can't watch it, though.
I mean...
What kind of special features on it?
Your mom.
Like, your VHS, I'm Beta.
Yeah, but I guess it's because when I started doing the VHS hunt online, they're like, oh, and mold-free. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Means it wasn't in somebody's basement.
Yeah, they didn't throw it up in their moldy old basement and let it rot for like 10 years. For like, oh, hey, I heard the kids like these again, you know? But the found footage dudes, they interviewed Brinky Stevens, who I'd always just called Brink Stevens because I don't think I've never heard anybody pronounce her name out loud before. So I've just been saying her name wrong this entire time. But Brinky Stevens was there.
What the fuck? Because even when we brought Linnea Quigley to town, she even said Brink.
Yeah.
Did she say Brink? They called her Brinky, and I'm pretty sure she said her name was Brink.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking she knows how to say her name. But I mean, we had dinner with Linnea when she was in town, and she was talking about stories on the stage, obviously, when we were interviewing her. Yeah, she even said Brink.
Maybe Brinky is like a cute nickname.
It's fucking cute as hell. Yeah, I like it. Brink. If it was, whatever, American.
Brink. She was from Australia.
Brink.
Brink.
Fuck you guys.
They interviewed her, and she's just wonderful. Like, she was there signing stuff all weekend. Like,
she's just wonderful.
She is. She was just like, she was a fucking very nice woman.
And that's the great thing about like some of the Scream Queens that we grew up with is like you think that coming from like the 70s and 80s of like coming up through cinema, it'd be like, God, you must have some awful stories, and some of them don't. Like, I mean, if you read Elvira's book, she's went through some fucking hell. But like when we talked to Linnea, and we're still friends with her now, she still texts us, is like she's like, no, I really don't have any like horror stories of getting through this, this hill of a cinema, trying to get out of like what they were doing with like Nudie Cuties things and doing like, they did magazines together, her and Linnea in like France and all these kind of things. And she's like, no, we never really had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Lucky as fuck. And she directed the Sorority Babes and Slime Ball Bolorama Part 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
After they interviewed her, they played the opening that the found footage guys do. It's like a video from the beginning of one of those like I'm going to read your mind guys, like where a bunch of people get together in an auditorium. They come on stage.
It's a mentalist.
A mentalist, whatever. But they film the audience.
Just say asshole.
Yeah. All of them.
Scam artists, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They film the audience beforehand.
You make your money your way, okay?
For we film the audience for whatever. But
to
so we can catch on things and see what you're doing. But while they're filming the audience and while they're doing that, the music before the guy comes out is the Hotel California.
The Eagles?
Oh, so while they're filming this, it's scanning across the crowd, and all you see is these different people of all ages singing along to Hotel California. And then like they pull over and they like cut to this one girl, and she's like probably a teenager, and she's just like doing the guitar solo.
I knew it.
Like in the audience.
Please say somebody's doing air guitar.
And they're like looking at it and be like, you see that teenager doing a guitar solo? They don't have a dad because their dad would have knocked the shit out of them.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll go with this one.
Oh, no.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
Slap them.
But they did that, and then there was one from one of the other memorable ones was a home video for male strippers, which I guess you would, if you were like wanted to put this in and watch some guys strip. Of course, they all have jobs. They're firemen and plumbers, and
Well,
and then like
side gigs.
What did you used to call those? They used it was like a whole company that would go on tour. Men Stripper Club.
Oh,
Chippendale.
Male reviews.
There were male reviews, but they weren't called Chippendales.
Chippendale, yeah. I remember that
Very
because I remember
famous.
when I was a kid, I was like, oh, Chippendale. I thought the Rescue Rangers were going to be here. And apparently I was wrong.
Dave got educated in a different way that day.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to go, but like my friend's mother was like,
Sure.
that's not what that is, kids.
You can't go.
like
Why
we
is
just-
mom getting all these ones together?
We just watched them on Fox Kids. Rescue Rangers. They're,
Chippendale.
yeah, fucking
Rescue Ranger.
One of my best friends, her dad was actually a stripper.
And they were usually
for
buff as fuck.
years. And he still is. Like, I had no idea. He's like 6'3". I mean, he's in like his 60s now. But she told me, you know what his name used to be? His stage name? Mischief Maker. I was like, this sweet old man just shaking his dick around for ladies and some dudes. Like,
Making mischief.
They have choreography. They do the dick pop. It's awesome, man. I don't think they can even get like, at least none of the videos I've seen. I'm sorry, the stuff that I was told, they did like they couldn't get like totally nude. So
This one, you would think, like, when you're watching and you're like, oh, they're probably going to cut away or whatever. And it's like, nope, full frontal male nudity right on the giant screen. And everybody was like, whoa, that's a lot of dick.
hey,
It's like watching Eastern Promises again. Be like, holy shit, I didn't think I was going to see that
I
again.
did see Aragorn's cock.
Yeah, and but then after that they did the German porno beginning for the German porno called Frisbee Fuckers.
You talked about that last
And they
year.
did that last year.
Yeah.
I actually got a Frisbee this year that says Frisbee Fuckers on it.
Oh man, you should get that sign like it's a freaking drum head.
Yeah, I've got questions about this title.
Yeah,
But we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, is it like a JD fan or whatever?
I mean, do they
fan?
fuck the Frisbees?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're throwing the Frisbee and shenanigans.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Oh, it's like a
of
nudie.
course it gets caught on your dick.
It's like a Nudie Cuties
why
movie.
wouldn't it get caught on your dick?
Well, like in the '60s, when they're like a lot of these horror makers before they became horror directors, like Herschel Gordon Lewis, they made nudie cuties, and it was women and men playing volleyball, naked. It's the nudist beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Linnea was in that ring toss scene that we showed.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. We
Yeah.
did that right on stage in front of a massive fucking screen in front of a bunch of people, and she was like, "Well, that's what I did," and she forgot she did that. Yeah, it's like different kind of jarts.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What?
Anyways,
Anyways,
back to it.
so Friday, first one was Nightmare Sisters, which you've never seen that. If you've never seen that, it's
Great. It's great.
which
They're,
is-
It's a great.
it's fun.
they're
And
nerds, and then they take off their glasses, and they're hot.
Yeah, who knew? They're like wearing dentures and
Take
yeah.
out that ponytail. That girl was smoking hot.
Yeah.
And then they murder people.
And doesn't Linnea have like a whole like song scene in that movie with her band? Like,
Oh
the
yeah,
skirt?
she does a song in
Yeah.
there. Michelle Bauer's in it.
Yep.
And we were sitting there watching. I was like, man, Michelle Bauer is a babe in this movie.
She's always been. We were watching a movie the other night because we just go through all these sex comedies all the time on Tubi together. I'm like, let's watch this one. And she was in a new movie, and I was like, holy crap, she looks almost the same.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, like a lot of people were hating on it, which a lot of people didn't like that was the first movie because generally, the first movie, you want the one that's like the crowd pleaser, where this one is, I don't know if you haven't seen it in a while. The first 15 minutes of it is this guy doing a really bad, like, I'm a genie or I'm a fortune teller, except he's like white doing the Indian voice.
I think that's Dookie Flyswatter from the horror punk band Haunted Garage.
Yeah,
we talked about him on the stage when Lene was here because that guy is amazing. But yeah, it's a
little dated.
What would you call it? I'm not going to even call it blackface, but yeah, it's exactly the same.
Yeah,
cultural appropriation.
There you go. Thank you.
But it's a little bit of that, and then and it's just like almost a static shot of just like him, like the camera doesn't move, and then it goes to another. Then you get introduced to the girls. And then literally you're watching that, and it's like just one camera shot of the three of them talking for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Why is this the first movie? And like, so I was like, it gets better. And then it gets into the 20-minute bathtub scene.
Yep. Because that's how all women take baths.
Yeah. Everybody just gets in the bathtub together, and, you're washing each other.
It's very reminiscent of sorority babes when they do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, now we got to clean up with all this shaving cream. And it's like, this is how women take baths.
Yeah.
Look, we save water, okay?
They're conscious for the environment.
Oh, yes.
But, because this is VHS Fest, they played everything on VHS, and the tape they had must have been like an original. It was so old, worn out that, like, some people were like, is this movie in black and white? And I was like, no, it's not black and white.
I've got them like that.
I was like, dude, it's like the color was so washed out, you could barely see any color in it. And I said, hey, I can tell you it's not in black and white. I own this on Blu-ray, okay?
I've got it on DVD, and I think I actually have the VHS copy in this room somewhere.
But I enjoy that movie. It's David Dakota, or David Decato, however you want to say his last name.
David Decato.
Decato.
I'm just joking. That's Once Upon a Time American joke.
Decato.
Yeah, Decato. But it's spelled the same,
Dakota.
It's Dakota.
Yeah. But he did it, and he's kind of like, if you ever watch any of his movies.
I love his movies.
Yeah.
I grew up on that crap. I mean, you're sitting next to a Fred Olen Ray signed picture right there behind you.
But yeah, so then they played TerrorVision second, which everybody was like, why didn't you play that first? Because TerrorVision's a crowd pleaser.
Fucking classic.
And it was awesome.
I think they're just told everybody to go fuck themselves. They'll play what they want.
Or it's how you get rid of the posers, as Ace would say.
Oh yeah, you're definitely you're running off all the people who are like, I came here to see Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees.
Well, think about it. Like, you're gonna go to bring up Cannibal Corpse. So I'm gonna go see a Deicide show, but you're gonna put Mortician on first. It just gets rid of everybody. I'm gonna go get a beer. Like, yeah, you are, poser.
Only the real ones were here after Nightmare Sisters went off. But yeah, then TerrorVision, which is amazing soundtrack. I mean, everything about that movie is great.
It is, man. It's a Charles Band classic. It's one that people forgot that he directed.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It's perfect 80s.
And the
Jonathan Grise
the big
from
monster.
Yes.
Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
And Fright Night. Part 2. Man, I love that guy.
Yeah. Everything's
everybody
great.
in that movie is great. They're over the top and they work. It's the chick from the Amityville 2. I forgot her name all of a sudden, but she's like, she has all the crazy hair. And you get Medusa, the horror host.
Yeah.
That movie rules.
Yeah. Is that the same girl? She was in the Last American Virgin or whatever that movie. Yeah. Most soul crushing ending to a movie ever. I think I probably mentioned that before, but
yeah, the soundtrack is great.
They have the whole theme song that like
It's so good.
It's great.
The crazy daddy with all the airplanes stuck to the jet fighters on his hat. Like,
oh yeah,
what universe is this movie real? It's got Garrett Graham in it.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There was a really nice moment in that movie because. Most of us all know each other through the Say Love Satan group. The beginning of their podcast has that quote from the old man from that movie where he's like, turn it off. He's like, International Decay, where he's like, turn it off and change the channel or whatever he says in there.
Yeah.
But I should know that because I've heard that like a million times, but it's escaping me now. But that whole saying is in the intro to their podcast.
Yeah.
So whenever that part came on, like everybody there was just like,
hey!
Like, it's the thing.
Take a bow.
The thing we all fucking do.
I mean, it takes people like Say Love Satan podcast or any other movie to make people go back and listen and watch old movies like that. So I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people watch or listen to those first few White Zombie albums? Like, where are these like cuts coming from? And then they go watch a movie. Like, oh, this is from Hiroshi Doji.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had friends who were like, what's that Mortician song? What's that part at the beginning? What movie is that from?
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, yeah.
They used a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's like, it's a minute and a half from Hellraiser.
There was a local band, one of the first grindcore bands in Louisville called Son of Dog, and they, on one of their albums, they did, no, it was actually Lord Fowl, one of the first black metal bands in the early 90s, and they were using audio cuts from movies I had never heard of at the time. Like Reservoir Dogs, I'd never heard of that movie, and the guy, the lead singer of the band, was like, "Oh yeah, it's from Reservoir Dogs." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, Lord Fowl's great.
Oh god,
if you're like into black metal,
underground tape traders know that band.
Can't find a physical copy anywhere probably, but it is on Spotify if you're into.
I've got
the
Spotify
tape
and the vinyl. They put out a vinyl. Some underground tape trader company now they're actually releasing it. I might even be the lead singer's freaking tape company.
Maybe yeah.
I think it is. He put it out on vinyl. So classic.
Nice. The third movie of the night, which I've never made it to since I've been there because I'm usually so tired from driving, but we were there the whole night the first time. Finally got to watch the third movie, was the Robot Ninja, which I hadn't seen. I own it on VHS, and I bought a copy of it at the Flea Off Market years ago before it became just soap and jewelry. You could actually buy like
the Flea Off Market is like a local flea market, independently owned flea market.
Flea market
here,
off
it's
Market
gotten
Street.
Huge.
Yeah, and it's real big now. But when it first started, you could find just weirdo stuff there. Yeah,
I brought nothing but VHS and sold not one.
Yeah,
nobody bought. I was like, "Fuck all you fucking posers." That's some good stuff.
But I bought a copy of Robot Ninja there on VHS for like $2 from somebody.
It might have been me. Maybe I was wrong. Sorry,
but. I saw J.R. Bookwalter there, and he had like some stuff from his personal collection for sale. And there was like he had a copy there.
He had something
for like
a comic book, right?
Yeah, I got a comic book from him. Yeah, well, what I initially walked up there was to get the comic because they were just giving away for free.
They only had like 100, and I remember on the website because I follow the Robot Ninja on Instagram, and he was like, he kept saying we. I don't know what his affiliation is with Bookwalter, but he's like, we're only going to have 100 copies.
Yeah.
Come get them.
And it's just...
And you got one.
This is the story. Like, in the movie, there are, like, pages that are drawn that he kind of took stuff from the movie and made the comic, filled the rest out. Yeah. But he was sitting there, and I was like, he had a copy, and it was, like, $500 or something. Maybe more than that.
For, like, a VHS?
For the tape, yeah. And I told him... I don't even think it was sealed.
Did it have mold on it?
I didn't check it.
You're getting all the good stuff.
But
that's the special features.
I told him,
Dave,
I was like,
mold.
I told him, I was like, I said, I bought this for like $2 somewhere, and he was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, they didn't know what they had."
Well, that wasn't me then.
Yeah. But he was cool. I talked to him for a little bit. Got the comic book. I kind of forgot how there's like the part how dark that movie is. Because like the whole premise is like a comic book artist takes on his own character. He starts dressing up as the Robot Ninja to fight a gang of rapists. And you're like,
as you should.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that. And then the end is just like, oh God. Like,
see, I've never seen this movie.
Dude, I won't spoil. I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, I mean, I feel like my childhood is incomplete because I didn't see a movie called Robot Ninja.
You need to watch it. It sounds like it's good. I bought it because I was like, oh, I bet this is so goofy.
It's got Burt Ward.
Yeah, Burt Ward.
The original Robin.
Yeah.
And Linnea Quigley.
And J.R. Bookwalter, he was the same dude who did The Dead Next Door.
Which is so good.
And it's amazing.
It's so good.
But yeah, I don't want to spoil it because the end of it is like people that think they're doing like dark comic book movies now. Like this guy was doing like everybody. We were all watching it. Everybody was like, "Is this a newer movie?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "This movie came out like a long time, like early '90s." And they were like, "Man, I just like it's so like all the themes and everything, and the way he deals with like having a dark comic book movie is like kind of like a thing." Some people probably think is new, but this guy did it in like 1990.
Yeah,
and just kind of got forgotten about. And I think he kind of wrote the whole movie off, but. It's good. I like it a lot, and the soundtrack too is really good too. Like it's just that real nice synthy score, Like
anytime his image pops up, people act like it's like they think it's the guy, one of the villains from like Power Rangers, because they look very similar.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah.
No, it's not him at all. What are you talking about? It's the Robot Ninja.
Yeah, he looks more like a Mortal Kombat character than anything. But that was Friday, and we actually, I think we got back. I think the last movie then, the year before, they played 4 movies. I think it might have ended at like 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
They only did 3 this year. So
they're learning.
You know their crowd.
After 8 years.
yeah, after everybody leaves and it's just the campers like super drunk hanging out. But they also played Hayden Hall, who is Luther from Luther's Mid-Fright Snack. They played the trailer for his new movie he has coming out.
They're doing the premiere there, I think.
Yeah, they did the premiere there.
Pizza.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Pizza Party Massacre.
Yeah.
They did the trailer there that night. And
It's
then
going to be good. I wish I could go, man.
Dude, it looks like how they do the Luther's Mid-Fright Snack.
The TV show on YouTube. Yeah.
The movie looks just like that, kind of. Like, not just like, I mean, it has like sets and
But
stuff.
it looks like it's filmed on VHS.
filmed on
the
VHS.
sets and everything.
Same kind of
That fucking show is
same
great.
look, the VHS style, you know?
Yep.
It looks really fun. It looked really good. I was like, dude, I said, it looks amazing. So I can't wait to see that. He said he was taking it on the road, and that's when I gave him one of the flyers and planted the tapes on the back. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm trying to take it and do like a premiere, like a road premiere in towns and stuff. And I was like, I have a perfect place for you, sir. But
Hell, I might reach out to him myself.
yeah,
That'd be rad.
so, Saturday we finally went back, ate at the same place, got me a nice little pork roll while we were there.
Oh, are we going to talk about this again?
I was just
Divisive meats, as Dave said last time.
meats of New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Oh, no. You didn't get a burger in a bag or whatever the hell that thing is?
Oh yeah, I did get some. I did.
How are you going to skip over the meals, man?
Oh man, that's so. Just sitting there eating that food all weekend, like it's fine. Like it's like hamburgers, hot dogs. They have other stuff too. You can get like chicken fingers and shit. But like you're just sitting there and it's like I've been here for 3 days and I haven't eaten a single vegetable in like 3 days.
It's
like,
all fried
it's just
food.
fried food.
Does ketchup count?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, we were driving home and I was like, we stopped at like a Subway or something, and I was like, I just need like some lettuce or something. I've just been eating like fried food and hot dogs and like fries.
That
like,
sounds amazing.
No, it
for
doesn't,
3
Dave.
days.
Sounds great.
And beer on top of it.
That very distinct smell when you walk into a drive-in's like like concession stand, you're like, oh, it's so good.
It's all popcorn. You walk in there, it's just popcorn. It's 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, it always
I
is.
don't know how those people sit in there all night.
The love of the movies, man.
While we were eating, the only reason I brought it back up again, there was somebody took a picture of us. We took a group photo, and then in the first one, I'm like, I must have just like taken a bite of food, but I have like the most angry look on my face ever. And then somebody took another one where I'm actually looking up and kind of smiling. And then while we were there, somebody took both those pictures and did kind of the meme thing where it's like, and it was the mean face and happy face, and it was like when the scene is like when the bathtub scene in Nightmare Sisters was only 20 minutes long or whatever. But I'll have to post that if anybody wants to make some
share it. I'll
memes.
I'll
of
put it
my
on the
face.
video version of this. Oh yeah, which you can find on YouTube.
So what was the movies on Saturday night?
So Saturday, the first one was Haunting Fear, which was also starred Brinky Stevens, which I'd seen that movie like around, like not in person, but like I've seen it online, and people talking about it like it was like, oh, you should see this movie. It's hard to find. I think it was like had a very limited release.
No way.
It's based on an Edgar Allan Poe story where a woman has fears of being buried alive.
Oh, that's awesome. I always think of like the comic of Haunting Fear. Haunting Fear was an old comic.
Oh yeah. But this one has Jan Michael Vincent in it. If that tells you how good this movie is.
Was it pre-burn or whatever the fuck he did to his face?
He was in a car wreck or something.
Man, he looked bad.
There's a movie he's in that he just left his face like that called Red Line, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I saw him on like Howard Stern one time, like when it was on E. And I was like, what the fuck happened to this guy? This is the guy from Airwolf and like other movies. Like he was up and coming. And I guess the lifestyle just got to him and he I think it was a motorcycle wreck. I could be
Something,
could be incorrect, but Yeah,
But,
he looked awful, man.
Yeah, he's in it, and he's just kind of being J. Michael Vincent.
Sometimes that's all you got to do.
Yeah, just kind of scummy.
Just Busey it up.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Karen Black's in it. It has a short cameo. Michael Berryman's in it.
Wow, this actually has a freaking put some money behind this.
And it was pretty sure it was directed by our pal there.
Oh, Fredo and Ray.
Yeah. But like you're watching it, and it's it's your typical like kind of late night. Brinky Stevens is in it, so there's going to be a lot of nudity, some sex and stuff. But it's they at the beginning of it they played off where it's like based on a story by Edgar Allan Poe, and you're like, oh, this is going to be like a classy movie, and it's like, oh no, and I was like, and I turned around and asked him, and I was like, I wonder if when Edgar Allan Poe wrote this, he also included the scene where a boss raw dogs his secretary over a desk. I was pretty sure he didn't write that part, but
that's what he had in mind. It's artistic liberties.
Oh shit! What have they done to my story?
Yeah, but it was fun. It was definitely another like, why did they play this first? Because it's really slow, and then it kind of picks up towards the end. But there's a lot of just like, man,
was Brinky Stevens there?
Yeah, she was there.
Maybe she has a bedtime.
Yeah, I think they're just like, she's like, look, I got to get out of here. Play this movie first. So
yeah. It's contractually, I've got to be here while you play the movie, but you have to play it early.
Did she get to introduce anything, or they just had her like?
She came out and introduced it and talked about it for a little bit.
And she's like, I'm out.
Yeah. She was like, it's too late for me to be out. I'm like 65 years old now.
Yeah.
Feel that.
The second one they played, which is kind of like a short movie. If it was an hour, it was exactly 1 hour long. But it was Conrad Brooks versus the Werewolf, which is
that was the title?
Yeah. The actor Conrad Brooks.
Yeah, that's who I'm
versus
thinking
the
of.
werewolf.
Wait a second.
So, and he's most known for being in Plan 9 from Outer
Space. He's one of the cops.
Yeah, and he's
actually in Ed Wood as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
and he's just playing himself in this movie versus a werewolf.
That's kind of cool.
It's like My Name is Bruce,
but way before.
Yeah, this came out in 1994. And it was done by
ahead of the curve.
I don't know if you're familiar with this dude, David Rock Nelson.
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head.
He's in a documentary about VHS. He basically just made a bunch of shot-on-video movies, like in his backyard.
Oh, that's cool.
And just made a ton of them. He has ones like about a killer ant or something. I
can't wait to see that. I'm gonna find this stuff.
I mean, when I say like it's low budget, like it's the most low budget movie I've ever probably seen. Like I could have filmed this, and
they just could have took an ant and got it really close to the camera. And go.
It's a movie about a werewolf where you don't even see the moon, like
which is the cheapest shot in all of cinema history.
Yeah, and it's like because they can't afford to shoot at night, so it's all during the day.
Yeah, lights cost money.
Yeah, and I was like, it's the most low budget shot on video, and if you're already shooting on video, but if it's even you're like this is a low budget shot on video, it was pretty bad. But it was probably the most entertaining thing they played that night because dude, it was. 40. It was 45 minutes of old men chasing a werewolf around in broad daylight. And like,
oh, that's so good. And then I looked at the lineup and I was like, you either never seen these movies or you were talking about like you think I've seen one of them. I can't remember what it was. Was the Blood Harvest? Yeah,
you've seen Blood Harvest.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
But
you're welcome.
I was not sober that night, I guess.
Literally, the end of this movie is just him running over the werewolf for like 5 minutes. Like he hits the werewolf with his car, and then he's just like and he like backs up and runs over it, and he like goes forward and runs over, and he backs up again, and it's like still keeps going. And I swear to God, like I think I fell asleep for about maybe 10 minutes of this movie because it was just like like I said, like old men just like running around chasing each other. And then I woke up and he's just like running over this werewolf in his car, and like everybody's laughing, and I was like, oh man, I really missed out on some stuff here. But if you can ever find that, I haven't looked to see if it's just available on YouTube or something. It has to be. It's like this guy that made this is just like a dude who makes movies in his backyard.
Conrad Brooks versus the Werewolf.
Yeah, directed by David Rock Nelson.
Hell yeah.
But they did that, and that was fun. And then you get to Blood Harvest, which sucked and was super boring. I don't know if you've ever watched that movie.
Apparently I have.
It's awful.
Tiny Tim.
I think people just like this movie because Tiny Tim's weird.
Yeah.
And he plays music.
He's creepy as shit. Man,
He's creepy. He's dressed up like a clown. The movie's super rapey when you're watching it.
Maybe that's why I don't remember it.
That's what I said. I wrote down. I was just like, people just pretend to like this because Tiny Tim is quirky.
Yeah,
And
pretty
it's
much.
like we were sitting there watching it and like
Just like fucking Joaquin Phoenix from The Joker.
Yes.
yeah, you're right.
It's
Yeah,
the-
and like it was just so bad. And my buddy Travis just sit there and heckled it the entire time we were
As
watching
you
it. Like we were.
What do you think? Yeah.
And he kind of did the same thing where like you're hanging out. Saturday we were drinking a lot that day. So by the time the third movie came on, maybe fell asleep for a little bit, woke back up. But
In your chair.
yeah, and then and like kind of everybody, you just look at people were kind of doing that because it's been hot all day, cooled off. You're sitting down, you just ate. Like Travis, like I looked like Travis, kind of like got back, started paying attention to the movie again, and then he just straight heckled it for like an hour. And somebody was like, "I've been really wanting to see this movie for a while. I heard it was pretty good." And he's like, "It fucking sucks. I fucking hate this movie." He's like, "Look at this scene, piece of shit." Just like going on.
Jesus Christ.
that was the best part of that movie, was just him heckling it for the entire time.
They'll put it back on video with his commentary that they recorded at VHS Fest.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
yeah, that would be great.
That would be so good.
God, the last movie they played that night was Attack of the Beast Creatures.
Now, I know I've never seen that.
I hadn't either.
Dave's like,
I'm out on that one.
No, we didn't stay for that one because we were both like, it was a whole day of just drinking, eating, and Tiny Tim just kind of like took all the life out of us. So by the time
I'm just
Attack
not
of
a
the Beast
fan.
Creatures came around, it was probably 1 a.m.
It was probably the best movie.
Yeah, it probably was.
Probably so good.
Saving the best for last.
Few people stayed. I went home. Everybody else kind of went to bed, and then I was kind of like, I guess where I kind of napped for a little bit. I stayed up for a little while, and I put it on Pluto TV and watched Joyride and had like 2 beers.
Yeah.
That's a decent movie, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you haven't seen Joyride in a while. That movie's not bad.
It's
No.
not. I gave it a pass because I thought it was like a Hitcher ripoff.
Oh no, yeah, it's
No, it's a pretty unique story, actually.
Yeah, but I went back and watched it. I just thought originally when I saw it, I was like, I've seen this movie. Rutger Hauer's awesome. I don't want to see this version. But
Yeah.
that's pretty
But
good.
you were wrong.
They made a sequel.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as that year, as far as like the 2000s go, I mean, talking about the same time like Halloween Resurrection came out, like
Yeah.
just bad.
The bar was low.
The bar was really low, but that movie still holds up, still good. If you want to watch it, maybe it was because it was 2 a.m. and I'd had like 14 beers that day. But
Yeah. That's got what's his face? He's
Oh, it's got Paul Walker.
That's it, yeah.
And
Paul Walker.
Steve Zahn.
He's
I
like,
love
forget
Steve
about it,
Zahn.
cuz.
Steve Zahn. Whatever happened to that guy? I
He
guess
lives in
wasn't, like,
Lexington.
He lives in
Yeah,
Lexington,
he
yeah.
lives here.
Oh, we got to get him in the studio.
Yeah.
I'll buy him a latte.
Apparently, we know somebody that's worked with him, and he's like the sweetest guy
Good.
on set.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love him, man. Like he's the best part of like that thing you do. That Tom Hanks movie about
Oh,
the
yeah.
60s rock band. He's hilarious.
That's like when I said he's from Kentucky, that's like a running joke that I have where with everybody there.
Oh, everybody
is
knows.
that. Yeah, where I'm always like, we'll start talking about something. I'll be like, hey, that guy, he's actually from Kentucky. And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. Like, and I've done it so many times that they think I'm lying most of the time.
It's like that Todd Browning guy.
Yeah. I'd be like, they're like, yeah, have you ever seen Freaks? I'm like, he's from Kentucky, right? And they're
Right.
like, fuck you, Ace, fuck you. Like every time.
You know that William Girdler guy?
Yeah, and they always get to the point where like we'll watch anything. They're like, "Oh, let me guess, Ace, this guy's from Kentucky too." And I was like, "He's not actually." I don't
Yeah.
know." Like
it's
I'll just
true,
shut up.
though. We have all kinds of cool rednecks, man. Whatever.
Yeah,
So night 2 ended with 14 beers deep and Joyride.
yeah, Joyride. Then I went to bed.
Probably eating on somebody eating some like cold pizza on somebody's couch.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Soggy
good.
fucking burger bag. A bag of burger.
Bag-
Pretty much your Saturday nights here in Louisville.
yeah, pretty much.
Nothing
yeah.
has changed.
Wake up at 9 and I start slamming beers.
But Sunday was the best nights. They kind of like they never done like a third night before.
The lineup looks killer.
But they did Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2, and then they did Part 3 as a surprise, which I didn't even realize until I read the Rue Morgue article about it. And I was like, damn, I said we left after the second movie and didn't even realize they were doing Part 3 also as a
Gotcha,
surprise. So, but yeah, watching Slumber Party Party Massacre 1 and 2, like on the big screen, was fucking awesome.
That's the thing we haven't touched on is this drive-in that Ace goes to annually is one of the only drive-ins, if not the only theater in the world that does almost like 99% all 35 millimeter print.
Yeah, except for VHS Fest where they'll play stuff on tape for VHS.
Well,
Fest.
I mean that makes sense.
But
I get that.
The rest of the time, it's all on film.
Right. I mean, like tonight, as in the night that we were recording this, they're doing the Grindhouse double feature with all the trailers in 35 millimeter at that drive-in, and with one of the original cars that had been like somebody found it and put it back together.
Yeah.
I think it's not the Challenger. Is it the
Stuntman Mike's car?
The white car?
No. It's the white car. Yeah. It's the Challenger.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I was telling Ace and Katie before you got here, Dave, I was like, I'm glad that place isn't that close. I'd be there every fucking weekend.
That's what I told Ronnie. I was like, man, if we lived like within an hour of there, I would be there like so much.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like $10 to get in or something.
Yeah.
And
I think next week they're doing The Crow on 35 with Rachel Davis being there.
Yeah.
They're doing, you were talking about the Midnight Snack. They're doing
he's doing his premiere there with that.
Yeah, they do Trauma. They do the Trauma Fest up there. I think that was the original place that they started the Joe Bob Briggs Festival, I thought.
They did one there. Yeah, they did that there one year.
Okay, yeah.
They do the summer camp, like the whole weekend.
That's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, they do that where it's like 4 days of like every Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, it's 1 through 10, all in 35 millimeter print.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to do like a Gore Club podcast road trip.
Well, yeah, we talked about it last year, but we just didn't get around to it. And then Ace was like, I'm going. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Well, not just for VHS Fest, but for, if they've got so many different fun events.
They do.
Yeah.
Rent a big van.
It's only a 14-hour drive, though.
Just get in the Suburban.
It's a solid
I'm sure you can make
9.5 hours.
Well, okay,
I can
Ace goes
handle
Mach
it.
10.
Yeah. But
He breaks the sound barrier. We're here.
well, there's a documentary about it called At the Drive-In that gives you the whole story of around 2008 or something or 9. I think it was like the year. Then they were just like studios were like, we're not going to send out film anymore. You need to get a digital projector. And they're like, well, I
think that was 2014.
Was it? Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. And go ahead.
But he was like, well, we can't afford that, so we're just going to keep showing. We're just going to like switch from doing what every drive-in does now, which is like, hey, come see Minions in a Marvel movie, bring the kids,
Yeah.
which is like what most of them do now, except for one time a year when they show Halloween.
As funny as that is, that's exactly what happened to us because when we brought Joe Bob Briggs to town for the first time, we were trying to find places to do it, and we have a double drive-in here around in our area called the Georgetown Drive-In, and we contacted them, and the sweetest guy named Bill who owns it, and he's owned it forever. And he was like, I can't do it the weekend you all have planned and you have him coming in because I got to show Minions. And I'm not kidding. That's so funny you brought that up.
Yeah.
And I think I've mentioned it before. But yeah, he's like, if I don't show Minions, they won't let me go and do all these other things. So fuck Sony, fuck Disney, fuck them all.
Yeah. But
this is awesome. And that poor guy, and the guy that made those decisions had passed away.
He passed away this year, and it kind of threw everything in a kind of tizzy there for a minute. But I think they everybody got together and got everything planned out for the year because it happened like right before their season was getting ready to start.
Happened early April.
Yeah. So
his name was Jeff
Maddox. Yeah. And if you ever watch the documentary, he's pretty prominent in there, and he's talking about like being like a projectionist is like an art form. Like it's not just like walking in there and throwing it on the thing and turning it on.
Go watch Last Action Hero. That dude loves that job.
Yeah. And it was something he felt passionate about, and to decide to just only show like cult films and B movies, and they do the occasional like we're going to show The Wizard of Oz this weekend or classic things like but you'll never see like Minions or like Iron Man there play ever unless it's like they're going to show Captain America from like 1995 or something. Or the original Fantastic Four movie that Roger Corman did.
And it was sad. He was 65 years old and he was having like hip issues, I think, and he went in for surgery and he passed away due to complications from the surgery, and that sucks, man. I went on their website and looked at all the all the quotes, and there's a whole other website that you can click on the link and it tells more of a story and it talks about the people who work there, and it's badass. They were definitely scrambling, and then they figured out what they're going to do, and they're going to keep it going. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was pretty, and that place has been going since like
1949.
49, like right after World War II, and people are like, "Hey, let's spend some money." It's post-war.
That was one of the things on the website. They're like, we want to keep this going for like another 75 years, and that makes me want to cry.
Yeah, and it's like, and I guess I don't know. I always say it would be cool to have that in Kentucky, but like you got to think like, but where they're at is like you got Philly, New Jersey, even New York's pretty close, where you can have like larger cities where you have like more people like us who would go to something like
More
that.
of an audience.
More of an audience. I think,
keep it going.
Yeah, to keep it going that long.
I mean, we've been doing what we do every weekend for technically 15 years, but it's a small venue, and you know, sometimes there's 10 people there.
Yeah,
you can't do that with a drive-in.
Yeah, and they're there. They do that rain or shine. Like if it's pouring the rain, they're open.
Yeah, it's a drive-in.
Yeah, and
Dave went
just
outside. We talked about this the fucking Friday the 13th, not in 3D, and it's raining outside. It's like, Steve, take your glasses off. It's not in 3D. Son of a bitch.
I should have just not told you. Man, that was real weird, right?
Well, I have shown that movie in 3D, and goddamn it, it was in 3D, and it gave everyone headaches.
But to kind of wrap it up, I got as far as like merch. A lot of people go and they're like, I bought a stack of tapes this big. And
Yeah,
like,
they have a lot of vendors,
and I can't. Yeah, and I'm like, I never do buy that many tapes because every time I go, it's like it's like one of those things where it's like I have too many choices. I can't make a decision, so I don't buy nothing. Like,
yeah, okay, I'm gonna edit this out, but I cannot remember the guy's name, and I see him all the time. And you met him when we went and did copies at FedEx. He owns a small indie VHS distribution company here in Louisville, and we run into each other every once in a while. He doesn't know my name, I don't know his. He's like, Gore Club, and I'm like, yeah, and I cannot remember the name of his fucking company, but he has a booth there, and he goes there every year because the same thing that happened this year happened last year at FedEx when I just happened to be there when he's getting all of his covers copied off, and he's got a stack and he's cutting them, and I'm cutting my little flyers for the weekend, and he's traveling to go and hang out with you. And I was, one of our podcast co-hosts, Ace, is up there going up there. He's like, oh, cool, I'll see him. And he has a whole booth, and I cannot remember the name of it. So fuck me, and I promise I will find out what the hell the name of your name is. And my name is Steve Vessell, by the way. But I mean, yeah, and he has a booth there every year.
oh wow,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Maybe
we did talk,
and it's all indie label stuff. So it's not like it's not like Jaws.
No, yeah.
It's not even Cruel Jaws. It's like Stupid Jaws. I don't know.
Well, now I'm wondering.
Dumb Jaws.
Yeah. But yeah, like, oh yeah. So anyways, yeah, some
All
of the
the
merch I
vendors
got,
look
yeah, all
amazing.
the vendors. It's crazy to like, I can't just make a decision on stuff. And like most of the time, all the good stuff's gone anyways because everybody has like,
you
all
were
the
fourth
inside
in line.
knowledge. Yeah.
All the stuff wasn't gone.
You're a
it was-
lazy fuck.
When you get there,
Put the
it's
cooler
like,
down,
It's
Ace.
the other vendors are just selling to each other and trading.
Well, yeah, that happens.
So
That's at every convention.
and
I've
that's
ever
if you're
been
there
to.
for like your holy grail tapes or something. I'm just looking for like really bad action movies, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get it. I go to Horror Hound, and there's a guy. His name's Wicked Chef, and he has the best soundtracks. And he's like, I got your box.
Yeah.
He has no idea what I'm going to get, but he knows my shit. He knows what I like, and I'll just go through them. And they do that for all the vendors.
But
Yeah.
I did get a pretty sweet Total Recall shirt
Oh, nice.
from this company called Dry Rot, who is on Instagram. You should look them up. They got a lot of cool T-shirts.
They
on
did.
there.
They did a RoboCop event up there, and I think they have like the posters on the website. Because if you
I
go on
think,
the
yeah.
Mahoning Driving website, they have all their merch. You can buy all the VHS Fest
Yeah.
posters that
Hayden Hall does.
Hayden
yeah.
Dahl had done. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I got that shirt from them, which they also recently did a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 shirt. And on the back of it, I think it has like the award with like the chili going down the
Oh, that's so
going down
awesome.
it. When he
They're-
pours it in the cup.
They're doing an event with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Evil Dead movies. It's like the Dueling Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre
Oh,
night or
nice.
something.
I got the Robot
that.
Ninja comic.
I want that so bad. No, oh yeah, damn it, man.
I got that. I bought a print with Katya from Drag Race on it for my wife that somebody had done. Benny gave me a few tapes while I was there, which I got a copy of Stripes. And then when he handed me Stripes, I was like, hey, you know where they filmed this movie at, right?
Shut the fuck up, Ace.
Louisville, Kentucky. And he was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I was
Fort Knox,
like,
man.
you gave it to me.
I saw that movie. They showed that movie under the bridge that they filmed the parts of the movie at,
Yeah.
downtown Louisville. I was sitting under the bridge that they filmed it at. So it's really cool, those scenes. You see him just get out of the cab and take off walking. And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
they filmed it in reverse, so he's like walking back to Louisville, even though
Yeah.
he's supposed to be, hilarious.
Yeah. But I got that. A copy of some movie called Loose Cannon, which I haven't watched yet.
Oh, it's freaking it's Dan Aykroyd and Gene
Maybe
Gene
it is.
Hackman,
It
right?
may be.
Is
No,
Loose
I
Cannons?
think it's a different one. No.
Oh,
this is like an action movie.
Yours is a porno.
Yeah, it may be. It came in a big box.
Yeah. Big box, Loose Cannon.
But I got that Boggy Creek 2.
Katie's flopping her arm around. She knows what loose cannons are.
Wait, Boggy Creek 2?
Boggy Creek 2.
Loose Cannons and Boggy Creek 2.
I love
Yeah.
Boggy Creek.
It'd be better. It'd be better if it was Boggy Creek 2, Loose Cannons. Like if that was just the name of the
Bigfoot's had it.
Nice.
He's had enough.
I got a book called Night Boat, which
Wow.
is a book about a Nazi ghost ship.
You just waited till the last day to buy all your stuff, and it's all the stuff that was left.
Yeah. My buddy Tom gave me some sunglasses from the movie The Abomination, which have like The Abomination written on the side.
No.
I got that. He made Say You Love Satan patches for everybody that are in the Salvation Army logo.
Of course.
So it says like the Say You Love Satan Army on it.
Which is awesome if you know anything about the Salvation Army.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so cool.
He made those up, and then he also had thumb drives made up with every single episode on it that he gave to everybody in case they decided to like take it down. I think at one time they were going to take all of them down.
Look, I know we're all punks and weirdo metalheads, but that is fucking so sweet.
Yeah, it was really great. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I was like, you went over the top with this.
That
I was
is
like, I just
so
have
cool.
like, I said, all I brought was a bunch of pins. I'm sorry. I was like, all I
And
have.
flyers you
There
didn't
you
give
go.
out.
I gave everybody a little pin from Fat Rabbit.
Son of a bitch. That's so cute, though.
But yeah, it was a good time. And then, it's like getting back, you spend 3 days just like laughing and laughing and laughing. And then you have to go back to the real world. And it's like, oh, God.
It sucks. There's no laughing at work.
Yeah, I know. But while
Damn,
we're,
Dave.
it was kind of weird. I
Come
got a
work
bunch-
with me. Trust me.
I got a bunch of text messages while I was there from people. They were like, because it was, July, a certain guy who was running for president was in Pennsylvania, and something happened to him. And and people were like, "What part of Pennsylvania are you in?" I was like, "Not that part."
Yeah, he got some ketchup on him.
Yeah,
Fucking blading like a
That was-
goddamn wrestler.
that was
my God.
some big news amongst everybody there. Everybody was just there hanging. There was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck just happened?"
Oh, let's go back to watching this movie.
They
And
call
then-
that getting color on you, Dave.
Yeah,
in wrestling.
a lot of weird stuff happened. Shelley Duvall died the same weekend, so that was a big.
Jesus, we don't have Derek anymore. Now we've got you. You're the fucking
Was she in Pennsylvania too?
No.
Was she the shooter?
But
We didn't say that. FBI.
oh, I did. I left this part off too. Where I did get to eat some. Some of the Canadians came down and brought some delicious Canadian snacks that you can't get down here. So I got some all dressed chips from Canada.
I've wanted to try those for fucking years. Are they good?
They were really good. And I was like, oh, let me try some of these. I've only seen them on Canadian TV shows.
Right?
Yeah.
And like I ate them, I was like, man, these are just as good as I thought they would be. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's the whole weekend.
It was a whole weekend.
Good
It sounds like a fun weekend.
It is. It's really fun.
It's nice to just get away from any city. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's like, I just want to get the fuck away. Like, I don't mind going to traveling to see a metal show or a punk show in another city. And everybody's like, well, come you didn't come and see it with all of us? It's like, I just want to be somewhere else, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, and like I could go on like, probably for like another 20 minutes just on inside jokes that me and like 4 people would like were funny or like,
Yeah.
we just, it's like a weekend, like you're sitting around and you just get bored because you're waiting on the movies to start. And people were like just doing Charles Bronson voice for like, an hour and stuff. Like,
Better than Chuck Norris.
just like, hey, Pally, let me get another one of them beers. Like, going on.
But those are the memories that you're going to
Yeah.
always remember.
Yeah.
Those, whatever I just said. Yeah.
But,
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to, are somebody, I don't think it was you. Somebody actually tagged us in something to where you are in a room work thing.
Oh, yeah. There
Is
was
it in the magazine or is it on the website?
It's on the website. So if you get on.
It's still cool, by the way.
Yeah, it's still cool. It's online, but it's still
That's awesome.
good. Yeah. Yeah. So Yasmina and Benny. Yasmina does the Rewind Zone on there, which is on YouTube, and she covers movies and stuff, which is really good. And then Benny has an article called The Analog Abattoir
Yeah.
that he writes on there about movies that no one should ever watch, but he writes an entire article about it, and it makes you want to watch it.
He did a Ghoulies 3. I saw that.
Yeah. So they covered, they did like a whole article about going to VHS Fest and stuff. And One of the pictures I ended up in there. I was just scrolling through and I was like, hey, there I am right there. Nice.
Was it the angry one of you eating the hamburger?
No, it was.
It's a beautiful shot, actually.
Yeah, it
You
looks
can see the
really
screen,
good.
I think, in the back.
The screen is there and the sky's orange.
Yeah,
Very candid.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. You look good.
Yeah, don't get a lot of candid photos of myself there. So
Shit. Oh, no, that was awesome, man. I'm glad you had a good time. And we definitely, I mean, Katie's right. We should like plan something. I know we have Georgetown Drive-In here, and we have the Sourback Drive-In as well. And then we've got, was it Skyline? Not too far away?
Shelbyville, yeah, they're doing something there in
They
October.
do some really rad shit too. Just kind of, not, I mean, their own version of like other drive-ins. But when you get to have that kind of like a venue to do it, and you get to include more people, and all the nerds come out. I mean, Mahoney's went from being, they could either close down or become basically world famous for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that takes some balls.
They
man.
sold out, and Friday and Saturday was sold completely out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I love the drive-in.
I know.
Oh man, it's gonna be sad when there's no more driving.
Shut the fuck up, Dave. The old drive-in will never die.
The drive-in will never die.
It's Friday night. We're recording this. You know what's on the night? The last drive-in.
It's not.
Shit.
They're on their off week.
There's
Just
no more
pretend it
drive-in.
is.
Yeah, no.
We could say that it is.
Yeah, that's true.
But before we go,
Oh, here we go. Fuck.
if you could see one movie in the drive-in, what would it be?
Oh, shit.
One movie.
Okay. I've seen it on the big screen. I've seen it digitally. I own VHS. I own a beta version. I own Blu-rays. It would have to be Return of the Living Dead. I have a poster that I got from Linnea Quigley, and it's actually signed by Jack Hill and her, and it's a screen printed poster from a drive-in down south, and I can't remember. I should go pull it out, but whatever. And from the original artist. But when I got that, I was just like, holy fuck! I've never been able to see that in a drive-in sort of grindhouse, setting. Sure, you can go see it on the big screen, but it's going to be all cleaned up and pretty. Even if you see a 35 millimeter print in a drive-in, I want to see that, man. I'll bring my tank. I'll dress up. By the way, if you didn't know that, I'm the Louisville Tar Man. By the way,
It would be a good one. Ace.
I think
I
for
would not
me,
be on drugs.
I think it would have to be like something like just like a pure like exploitation movie, like something you would see like
Maniac.
Yeah, like Maniac, or like Demons.
That's great.
Like Demons at the even though that doesn't take place at a drive, that'd be better.
No, it's at a movie theater.
It's at a movie
It takes place in a movie theater, or like Cannibal Pharaoh or something like that. Like,
Oof.
like an old cannibal movie, like because you're outside, it's all grimy, it's a jungle movie, something like that.
Katie, what was yours?
What would you see?
I really don't have one.
All right.
She sat through Faces of Death, the first one the other night.
Yeah.
And this is a Grindhouse 70s lady right here. And she was like, what the?
So
I forgot
much
there was so
animal
much.
death.
I forgot.
How did you forget? That's like what half of it is.
I hadn't seen it. I mean, Ace has talked about it a couple of times on the podcast, but I just was like, yeah. And we put it on. I was like,
Like,
shit.
no, that poor monkey.
yeah, the monkey.
No. That's
it's fake.
the easiest part.
Yeah.
It's fake. There's
It's
so
fake.
much real animal death in
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah. When they're at the slaughterhouse with like the sheep, I was like, fast forward.
So,
fast
anyways,
forward.
not that movie.
Not that movie. I mean, probably,
Part two.
something like I Spit on Your Grave.
I
like
knew
the
you were going to say
original,
that.
yeah.
I knew it.
It's
I won't
so
wake up in the
good.
middle of the night and she's watching that fucking thing.
Just because I don't feel like answering, I'll just say Ghoulies 3.
No, you have to. Come on, Dave.
I did. Ghoulies 3.
That would be great. I would love to see that on 35 millimeter print. I don't know if I'm sure somebody has
Actually,
to
you know what? A movie I would love to see on 35 millimeter print and on a big screen.
What?
The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never seen. I mean, it's not like a horror film, but still, it would be
doesn't have to
really
be.
cool.
Yeah.
Go sci-fi that night. Maybe play Enemy Mine next.
Enemy mine.
Yeah. Oh, how far you've strayed, fucking Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, now,
How can you be in a movie called Enemy Mine with the themes it is and be the person you are? You know what? No comment.
yeah, now
No
he's
comment.
Ronald Reagan.
God,
That's okay. That's
damn
okay.
it.
It's,
I guess. Get us out of here, Dave.
well, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ace, for taking us on a beautiful trip.
to Mahoning,
To the Mahoning.
to on your wonderful family reunion. You can find us on Anchor FM, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Verbal.com, wherever you're listening to us now, Facebook, YouTube, places.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Gore Club. This is the Gore Club podcast with Steve Vessell, Ace, and Deathmetal Dave.